Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with another competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon Moveset video guide analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're going to be talking about Alolan Dugtrio. Now before we get into this video, I just want to say there's a playlist down below. I encourage you to check that out if you missed any of my previous moveset videos. I'm doing all the Pokemon and we're almost done with all the fully evolved Pokemon. So I encourage you to check that out. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those links are down below. I'll be streaming later today, and then Twitter's just a great place to stay up to date with me. Now, when Alolan Dugtrio was first announced, and maybe not even then because we didn't know its typing, but when we found out its typing was Ground and Steel, I got extremely excited. Ground and Steel on a Trapper is amazing. Ground and Steel is a typing that's shared with Excadrill, and let me read off Excadrill's immunities and resistances. I think a lot of us forget that Excadrill is actually pretty solid defensively just because we use it offensively and doesn't have the best stats. Excadrill, shared with Alolan Dugtrio, is immune to Poison and Electric, and resist Normal, Flying, Rock, Bug, Steel, Psychic, Dragon, and Fairy. Now imagine that on a Trapper. Had Alolan Dugtrio kept Arena Trap, I think this would have been borderline broken as a Trapper. Being resistant to Psychic, Fairy, and Dragon is huge right now in this current metagame. But unfortunately, they decided, no, we're not going to give this Mon with hair Arena Trap. I don't know why. Makes me a little bit sad. On top of that, they did lower its base speed, so now it's base 110, which means that its speed ties with Latios and Latias, which is okay because they boosted its attack stat, and its attack is now base 100, which is really good for Dugtrio because it makes Pokemon like a Choice Band set actually be threatening and be able to KO certain Pokemon. So, Alolan Dugtrio, base 100 attack, base 110 speed. The thing is, its Kanto counterpart also shares the base 100 attack now, so that's really good for regular Dugtrio. But Alolan Dugtrio has 3 abilities: Sand Veil, which boosts your evasion in Sandstorm; Tangling Hair, love the name of this ability; Tresemme by Fabio. Pokemon making contact with this Pokemon have their speed lowered by 1 stage, so if you're making physical contact with this Pokemon, or maybe Grass Knot, since that's technically is a contact move, you'll lower your speed by 1 stage. And then Sand Force, which boosts your ground, rock, and steel type attacks by 1.3 as Sandstorm. So it gives your ground, rock, and steel type attacks a life orb boost in Sandstorm. So that's its most viable ability in my opinion, and that's why what we're going to be focusing on right here. So first off, we have Choice Scarf Dugtrio. Now Dugtrio hitting 350 speed max, even though it is slower than regular Dugtrio. Alolan Dugtrio does have a decent speed tier, being faster than Keldeo, being faster than Garchomp, being faster than Scarf Tapu Lele, which is very common, and that's why we're going to be giving this thing a Choice Scarf. The first set is Stone Edge, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Memento using Sand Force, so you're probably going to want to put this thing on a Sand team. It's just max attack, max speed. I feel like going Jolly is the best because I mentioned Pokemon that you do outspeed. If you go Adamant, you miss out on Pokemon such as Keldeo and such as Garchomp, and I think that people are sleeping on Scarf Keldeo. Scarf Keldeo is amazing versus offense right now, so I think if you want to be slower than that, fine, that's on you. Maybe Adamant, regular Dugtrio could afford to do it because it actually has a good speed tier after that, but I think Jolly on Alolan Dugtrio is best. So the moveset, like I said, is Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Iron Head. All 3 of those attacks are boosted by Sand if Sand is up. And then last move is Memento. Just for a fast Memento on a Choice Scarf user, if you want to be able to set up with something maybe like Scissor, like Volcarona, like Salamence, like Dragonite in the back. So the idea of this set is use it, take advantage of the fact that it does have some good resistances. For example, if your team is weak to Tapu Koko, yeah, you can just use Choice Scarf Dugtrio and trap it and get rid of it, but Choice Scarf Dugtrio has trouble switching in on a Life Orb HP Ice or like a Life Orb Grass Knot, whereas regular Dugtrio, or excuse me, Alolan Dugtrio obviously resists, though it can't trap it, but it gets some surprise kills. I just want to say that the base 100 attack stat is really nice because it actually, and the resistance, because it makes you be able to knock out Tapu Lele, Choice Scarf Tapu Lele with Scarf Iron Head 93% of the time, and if Sandstorm is up, obviously, and you have Sand Force as an ability, that's Safety Goggles. Nice. Does that actually cancel out my Sand Force? If Sandstorm is up, you knock it out, and because of your resistance, you too take 1 Scarf Psychic if necessary. So you will be taking 1 Scarf Psychic on this Pokemon if you want to. The idea of this set is just to use a fast Scarfer with a strong Iron Head and Stone Edge respectively. I want to lower this a little bit. Well, I don't like the way that looks right there. There you go. But to use a fast Scarfer with the ability to actually abuse Sandstorm in all of its moves. And base 100 attack, it's nothing to play around with when it's boosted by what is essentially a Life Orb, which is Sandstorm. So speaking of Life Orb, now we have the Life Orb set. I feel like on the Choice Scarf set, because you're fast, you can pull off going for Memento, whereas, again, Alolan Dugtrio does have lower base speed than regular Dugtrio, so it's not always going to be able to get off that fast Memento. So this set is just a Life Orb offensive set, abusing that Sand Force one more time with Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Iron Head. And the last move is Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is nice for those speed ties versus Latios and Latias, especially if they're weakened. You can pick them off with your base 100 coming up. Sucker Punch, Life Orb. This allows you to switch up moves again. Maybe if like Tapu Bulu comes in, you get Earthquake into Iron Head it. Be careful though, Tapu Bulu is very bulky, but mainly you can still trap Pokemon like Tapu Lele. Not trap them, but you can tank a hit and knock them out. I gotta remember it doesn't trap, man. It's fortunate. It's not a rapper. But yeah, just being able to boost all your attacks with pretty much a secondary Life Orb in the sand. So it gives you a 1.3 times boost, right? And then Sandstorm gives you another 1.3 times boost. So these Earthquakes, these Stone Edges, and these Iron Heads in the sand actually come off incredibly strong. Being able to threaten Pokemon like Metagross, obviously resisting Meteor Mash and Headbutt. Be careful though, they'll probably put you in range of Bullet Punch anyway, just because of your base 35 HP and base 60 defenses. It would have been so nice though if at least got just a little bit more to be able to get rid of Metagross and things like that. Just imagine this thing as a trapper. Imagine in the previous gen, guys, Oras, where Clefable was a monster. Just being able to trap it and having Iron Head stab against it. Or being able to trap Metagross and having base 100 Earthquake against it. Now you got a speed tie with Metagross. But still, Life Orb definitely abuses all these moves, especially in sand. Next up is Choice Band. Because of that base 100 attack, as I did mention, it does come off incredibly powerful. With Stab, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Iron Head respectively. The last move is either Sucker Punch or Pursuit. Pursuit is cool if your opponent knows your Choice Bandage, because they're more likely to think they'll have Sucker Punch. So you can go for Pursuit on their switch on Latios or Latias, knocking them out. Especially if they're -2, they definitely are going to switch out, not wanting to take a Stab Iron Head, so you can knock them out with that. Sucker Punch, again, is also an option. I like Pursuit as well, because if you bring in a Alolan Dugtrio on a Marowak on a free turn, Marowak is going to switch out. And Pursuit will be able to knock it out with the Choice Band boost. Be careful though, but you do threaten it with Earthquake or Stone Edge, so they should switch out unless they know you have Pursuit. Don't just show up Pursuit. Use Pursuit when necessary. But the idea of this set is just hitting with strong Choice Band attacks in the Sandstorm, as usual with Dugtrio, and just abusing that Sand Force. Now, Z Memento, I did mention that Memento is best used, I think, on a Scarf set, just because you're faster and everything. You can get off that fast Memento, but Z Memento is an option that it does have. And what Z Memento does is it sacks the Dugtrio to bring in something while also lowering your opponent's attack and special attack stat by 2, but it also heals whatever you bring in back up to full. So Z Memento can be used again, Volcarona, Dragonite. Maybe you want to bring it back to Multiscale and you're already defogged away their Stealth Rock, you bring that boy back. Also ends the turn, you know, like that. So it's really nice for getting in something like a Sweeper. And while you don't have a boosting item for Earthquake, Iron Head, and Stone Edge, again, if you have Sandstorm, you essentially have a Life Orb boost. And again, Z Memento can be used. I think you're giving up an item when you use, but Dugtrio is not the worst at this. I think regular Dugtrio is better if it wants to use Z Memento, but Scarf Dugtrio, Alolan Dugtrio is definitely solid with the Memento. And the thing that Scarf Dugtrio has over, or Scarf Alolan Dugtrio has over regular Scarf Dugtrio, is that it doesn't have to rely on a crappy move like Aerial Ace in order to kill Pheromosa. It can just use Iron Head, which actually has good, like, it hits solid targets like Fairy types and Rock types outside of that. So Z Memento is definitely an option that you can use if you want to be able to bring back your opponent. Other options that Dugtrio does have, obviously Sandveil is an option. You can run like something like a sub Sandveil Toxic set, maybe with leftovers. Maybe your opponent will miss a lot. Rock Slide if you don't want to miss Stone Edge. Final Gambit is an option. Terrible option though, don't use this. I just mentioned it because it's there and I feel like somebody will mention it, but I'm going to X that out. But Final Gambit is an option. Maybe if you actually manage to be at full HP, you're not going to be doing any damage at all. That should have been Reversal, to be honest. So Reversal, if you're using like a subset, can be used to get rid of Chansey, kind of like what Dugtrio used to do back in the day, still does now if it wants to. But those are all pretty much options. You don't need to use like Sludge Wave tech to get rid of Tapu Bulu, but you could use like Life Orb Sludge Wave or something like that. Like Iron Head into Life Orb Sludge Wave, knock it out. But I mean, 2 Iron Heads would knock it out anyway. Groundium Z for Continental Crush could be cool. You could also use the Rock Z move. to be able to do more damage to Pokemon like a weakened Celesteela or a weakened Skarmory. Those are definitely options. But outside of this, I think these are all the main moves. I show you the same 3 moves every single time, and then I always change to the last move, whether it be Memento, Sucker Punch, or Pursuit. I think those are Alolan Dugtrio's best offensive options. Now, teammates, Tyranitar and Hippowdon, great. They set up the stand, give you the Sand Force boost, get up rocks, Pursuit Trap. Hippowdon eats up every hit that Dugtrio does not want to eat up there. Great teammates. Zardwire is also a great teammate because it gets rid of Celesteela, Skarmory, Pokemon that Dugtrio does not want to deal with. Alolan Dugtrio does not want to deal with. Likewise, Alolan Dugtrio, if it's Scarf, can get rid of Tapu Koko if they don't switch. But Zardwire and Alolan Dugtrio pair really well together. Zardwire and regular Dugtrio also pair really well together. But Mountain Zone, again, same thing as Zardwire. Sorry about that. Being able to get rid of Celesteela, Skarmory, Scizor, Ferrothorn, all Pokemon that Alolan Dugtrio doesn't really want to deal with. Though if it is Choice Band and Scizor switches in before Mega Evolving, you can probably 2-KO it, just because it's strong. Especially if Sand is up, you will 2-KO with a Choice Band. If it's regular Scizor or Mega Evolving into Scizor, having the Mega Evolved yet, you would 2-KO. Volcarona appreciates the Memento. It appreciates Dugtrio, getting rid of Heatran, regular Dugtrio, but it still appreciates Dugtrio support, as well as Dugtrio appreciates its ability to get rid of the steel types that Dugtrio has a problem with. And Tapu Fini provides defog. Dugtrio pairs really well defensively with Tapu Fini as it takes on Tapu Koko. And then Tapu Fini can have a better time defogging or even scalding or Calm Mind boosting away. But outside of that, Dugtrio doesn't really have the best options. Toxic is cool just to wear down your opponent, but I don't know. I really do wish, I really do wish that this Mon got, that he got Arena Trap. It would be so cool as a trapper, especially in this generation where we have fairy types running around like crazy. It would be amazing as a trapper, man. It'd be, I think it'd be one of the best Scarf trappers ever. Even a band trapper. Banded as in, not banned, like gone, but a banded trapper. But I think Scarf would be amazing on this thing. With Arena Trap. Just imagine being able to trap Tapu Koko, being able to trap Lele. They do absolutely nothing, they're gone. But in any case, guys, I hope y'all learned something. You can definitely use regular Dugtrio. I'm not trying to talk crap about it because I think it does have some cool like niche to it, being it's a really cool Choice Scarf user with good attacks under Sand. But Dugtrio can just do it better with base 120 speed. At least Memento and things like that. But in any case, guys, thank you everybody for watching. Feel free, of course, to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.